wanted to get on here and I wanted to show you how you could customize your trading view chart for your benefit and just give you a short synopsis of why I customized mine. First of all, I kind of customized it because the white background was a little too bright for me. And the darker background or the midnight background was a little bit just too dark, even though I liked it because it made your chart, your candles, your indicators kind of stand out a little bit, but sometimes it was just a little too much. So I kind of customized my background, even my candlesticks. And I did that because if you are trading or new to trading, sometimes you're looking at the candlestick and then because red is an alerting color, and sometimes when you see your candle going against you or your move going against you in a bearish way or with a bearish candle, you get anxious or you tighten up or you start feeling some type of way. Sometimes your heart could be in palpitations and your nervous system, it just gets all, tangled up based on that particular candlestick. And so your emotions start going everywhere, especially if you're looking at a bearish move, especially if it's not a bearish trend. I hope that makes sense. Or if you're looking at a green candle, and it's going in the wrong direction and you have a bearish movement, but the green candle is going against you, sometimes your emotions can kind of get involved and you just start feeling some type of way. I didn't want to do that anymore. Like I didn't want to feel a type of way. I wanted my um a chart or the canvas of my chart and table to be like a mood, like a calming mood. And so I kind of use like a blue grayish color. I change my candlesticks, like my bearish candles are gray, as you can see, my bullish candles are blue, which is a little more calming for me when I'm trading. And I know that sometimes, your anxiousness or, your tense feeling and stuff like that has to do with strategy and sticking to your strategy and not constantly in and out of your strategy. I know that has a lot to do with it also, but I also know too, when you see a bearish candle, it's like alert, 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 especially if, like I said before, it's not going in a downtrend or the market is, in an uptrend or something like that. So you end up getting out of the move in a pullback versus sticking in the move, based on your setup and based on that the bearish movement is just a pullback. So I wanted to kind of actually, show you guys how you can actually customize your chart. However you want to, you can do that. So the first thing you want to do is go to your settings section. And as you can see, you could customize your candles. You see all of this is blue, like the body, the border, the wick. If you wanted to change your border, you could do, you could change your border to where it looks like this. But for me, blue is fine. And you could do the same thing with your wig. Suppose you want your wigs to stand out. You could do, change your wig color. But like I said, the traditional standard blue is fine and the gray is fine for my bearish candles. If you are using electronic trading hours background, which just it shows you the extended market, like the post market, like this right here, 1800. Of course, if you know military time, that's basically 6 o'clock, and it shows you it ends at 9 o'clock. So this is your pre and post market. So if you want that to show on your chart, you go to symbols, you go to electronic trading hours, and put that on there, get rid of your regular trading hours and put the electronic trading hours so you can see your post and pre-market. And then if you want it to stand out, you could click the hours background. I have mine and it's kind of yellow. You could do red, you could do purple, you could do any calming color that you want to for your trading journey. And so that's exactly why my chart is blue. blue and whatever color I just picked, like purple or something like that. I didn't want any kind of bright colors. I just wanted calming colors. You know, purple or lavender is like a calming color, blue is like a calming color, and stuff like that. I don't want to be like tensed all up or anxious, you know. I just didn't want that. And so part of my thing is changing my canvas and my candles. And so the trade your canvas, which is this big background, you can actually go here. You could do a solid color if you want to, which is all blue. I like the gradient color, so I just made my gradient color the same as my candles, which is a blue and gray. You could do anything you want to. Like, I didn't want any bright colors or anything like that. You could, you know, if you don't want, you know, that, you could just take the gray and then you could just change it any kind of way you want to. So that's a tip for you guys. If you want to change these vertical lines that you can see right here in the background, you could go here. You know, you could do vertical and horizontal lines that's the same color, or you could do your vertical if you want that to stand out one color, and then you could do your horizontal. Let's do you know, a different color. It's just you can't hardly see it. So let me show you the horizontal lines. You can see them right there. So you can kind of do it whatever you want, but like I said, blue is good for me. And so I'm kind of good. I'm kind of good with the blue like that. I'm kind of good with that. You can do your crosshairs where you can see this cross right here. My mouse, and then you could do that. You could change it you could change the thickness of it. You could change the style. You can make it yellow. You can make it red, whatever you want to do. But I'm just, you know, sticking to blue. That's what I like. There you go. And then what else? You could do your lines on the side here. Um, right here, you could do those. You can make those any color you want. You can make them white. You can make them gray, whatever you color you want. I just left them at a little grayish color. And then, of course, you could do the opacity to whatever you want it to, you know, however, how much ever you want it to stand out, you do your opacity and that's it. You can change your margin percentage. It's just totally up to you how you want to customize your chart. All right. And then so we're going to go back, I'm sorry, and we're going to go to the trading. Now, this is the one of the main reasons besides the look of the chart and the candles. I actually changed my profit and loss value to ticks from money. Because if you look before, it was always money, but I changed it to ticks because it keeps my emotions low when I'm taking a trade. And like I said before, of course, I'm not telling you to do this, but if you have been so emotionally attached to your trade and you're constantly looking at your profit and your loss all the time, more so than paying attention and making sure that your strategy is good or whatever, and you're jumping out of trades too early because you know you're in the negative when the trade is just on a pullback instead of a reversal, or if you're just jumping in too early or whatever the case may be, and you're looking at your profit and loss, I would suggest that you just change it to ticks. And the only thing you would have to do is calculate like how many ticks you could get based on how many contracts you are taking, based on what you are trading, whether it's NASDAQ, whether it's MES, whether it's gold, or whatever you're trading in futures. And so you can actually, you know, just look at your ticks. Ticks show up in smaller amounts, numbers, more so than money, which shows up in this actual amount. So suppose you are looking and you taking a trade and you see you're $1,000 in a negative. Well, it will show in ticks based on my calculation. It would show that I'm about maybe like 200 negative, you know, 300, you know, something like that, just based on the $1,000. So it could be 200 and something, maybe 250 in a negative based on, you know, based on that. And so it'll say that instead of showing me $1,000, which, you know, of course you calculate it in your mind and you know how many contracts in ticks, how much does that equal? but it also takes the emotion out. And just suppose you're in a negative 1,000 or 100, whatever the case may be, but you're on a pullback, right? And so 1,000 would make you go, ooh, ooh, either I'm going to hope that it turn around, or I'm just going to go ahead and get out in the negative, and then the trade ends up changing in your direction. You'd be like, man, I just should have waited. Well, the emotional part of you saw the $1,000 and you just jumped up out of the trade. Well, that's what I was doing. I was like, oh man. So my setup was actually right. And being a new trader, I haven't been doing this like forever. I literally just started, I think, last year, but I really literally just really found out the strategy I want to use, the session I want to use, for me. Like most people talk about the New York session, where if you're working a 9 to 5, it's hard to get into the New York session. You can actually wait on the Asian session. So I just really literally found that out. So I just had to reteach myself not to chase after the candlestick, but chase after, not even chase after, but let the market structure come to me and show me what it wants to do. And so I just wanted to show you how, and then you tell me, based on this, let's get something that looks like it's in a range, right? Like something like this up here, right? And you're thinking, okay, this is in a range. It looks like it's gonna go in a downtrend. We're gonna take this one right here. It's gonna go in a downtrend. Or let's do something, since I do Asian market, let's do something that's in the Asian market, that's kind of ranging a little bit. Let me see. Okay, we could just do this one right here. And we're going to say that the market is in a downtrend right here. And I just want you to see what happens when it goes in reverse with if we have it on the dollar instead of the ticks. And if you're like me or was like me or something like that, then change yours to tick. Figure out how much your tick value is based on whatever you're trading and your contract size, and then go from there. So I think I was where was I? Oh, I was gonna do something. What I said it was gonna go on? Oh my God. Oh, I think it was this one. Was it this one? Okay, I think it was this one. Yeah. So then we're gonna go ahead, because I think I said we was gonna do a downtrend. So we're gonna go ahead and put a, why did it change colors on me? I have no clue. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to change that. We're gonna put this in, we're gonna say it's going on a downtrend. That's a little bit too much right here. And then we're gonna put our take stop loss about right, like let's put our stop loss about right here, right? So right now you can see our monies show us that um, our take profit is about $2,000. Our stop loss is about, $1,000, something like that. So then we're just gonna go and see, and then tell me if you were in this trade for real, how would you feel? Like, how would you feel when the trades start going against you? So let's see. I should have sped this up a little bit, but sometimes I like to just have it so you could see, you could kind of feel the natural feel. Because if you were actually on a 1 hour candle, you're waiting for that 1 hour candle to close to see the next candle. So it's not in a rush. So sometimes when you're looking at, different videos or whatever, and the people are showing you, by showing you that fast movement, your mind is thinking, oh, shoot, I could get in the market real fast and jump out. No, baby, this is 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, this is 8 o'clock. So you already in the market 2 hours, basically, more so than any quick movement. And I like to give people, oh, y'all, I like to give people real time. So if you look right here, this is what, 9 o'clock. This right here is a 10 o'clock candle. And I just want to see when it goes against us, if it ever going to get there. There it is. Now, most of us will be asleep at 11 o'clock, but this is the thing. If you are a night owl, right? Get in the market. Don't just be sitting up. I know, we praying and we praying and stuff like that. But if you just up scrolling on social media or you're watching TV or you just can't sleep or something like that, did I say this was going in a downtrend? Did I pick the wrong one? Get get in the market, y'all. I might have oh, okay, maybe it's gonna reverse right here. This is 2 o'clock. So in reality, literally, you can actually hold your Asian session all the way till 4 p.m. the next day. So don't say, oh my God, you can't hold it that long. You literally can't. You could get in at 6 p.m. and hold it till 4:45 p.m. the next day, as long as you're out of the market before the market close, right? So you can actually hold it overnight. But this is example purposes only. It doesn't look like, maybe I picked the wrong direction because it doesn't look like we are actually going in the way I wanted it to go. I wanted to go the opposite way. That's what I wanted, to go the opposite way. Let me see. I wanted to go the opposite way. Is it going the opposite way? No. Oh, shoot. Okay, this was a bad example, right? Because, okay, here it is. So imagine let's pause. So imagine you got up here and you saw that 900 and something dollar movement, or you saw yourself down at $776 or whatever the case may be. Like, how would that make you feel actually? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you feel if you saw that emotionally? You'd be like, oh my gosh, depending on your risk and stuff like that. But you would be like, what if you didn't have all of this to risk? You would be emotionally like, oh man, like, excuse me, something like that. So that's why I took that off versus using ticks. I hope this makes sense to people. Using ticks, you see what I'm saying? Ticks is 194 ticks. You're negative 194 ticks. What you do is you multiply your ticks time your contract, and that's how much you actually have. But this is a lot less stressful than seeing this. It's a lot less stressful than seeing this, basically. So that's exactly why I just changed this to ticks, and I'll just calculate. If I saw this, I'll say, oh, Lord, let me see what 194 ticks is. You know what I'm saying? Or 100 ticks, or whatever the case may be. And all you do is you take the four and multiply it by, the one or the first two numbers. Like, it was seven something. So of course, you would have to round it up to, even if you round it 194, or the nine up to round the nine up one number. So it would be a two, or round this up to the nearest the highest number, right? So even if you say four times two, that's 800, which is still close, because if you can't calculate exact, round your numbers up. It's still close to, you would have said, okay, this is about $800. It's still closer to 776. You just off a little bit, but that would still give you some idea of exactly how much money you are gaining or how much money you are in the negative, right? So that's basically what I wanted to show you guys of how it takes the emotion out of it. It really, really does. And then that's something that you can do if you want to, and apply it to your charting journey. So you guys, I hope this helped you a lot, and I hope this video was meaningful and informational for you. All right, you guys, have a great day. Later. I want